Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Chris Davis, and today we're going to do a movie review of Thor Love and Thunder. So I saw the movie a couple of days ago, and it was really good. It was far better than I thought it would be, guys. I didn't like Thor Ragnarok all that much because I felt that it was a parody. I felt that the movie was going in all kinds of directions. Thor Ragnarok, you had the end of Asgard, but then they threw Planet Hulk in there. To me, that could have been two separate movies. But Thor Love and Thunder, even though it has some of that Ragnarok feel to it, it's really more of the first two films, Thor and then Thor the Dark World. It really has more of those feels to it. You still see the Taika Waititi in parts in it from Ragnarok, but it's really more of that Thor and Thor the Dark World. Especially when you get to the villain, Gore, the God Butcher. Yeah, with him, when the film starts, we see him and his daughter struggling through a desert. No water, no food. He dies, and then she dies, and then he gets in this oasis, and then he sees the god he's been praying to save them, and he finds out that his god is like a jerk who knew his suffering but didn't do anything. He's angry and he's fed up, and he says, "I renounce you," and then that god's about to kill him, but he somehow gets the necro sword and then kills his god. And because his daughter died and because the god he worshipped did nothing to save her, he vows to also, the necro sword is telling him to do this task to go to eternity and destroy the gods. But also, because of all the stuff that has happened, he vows to destroy all the gods, because to him, like, the gods do nothing. They want you to worship them, but they don't want to help you with your problems. They don't want to protect you at all. So he vows to kill like all the gods, and that's how the movie starts off. And then we see Thor. He's with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy, they're only in this film like beginning, very like beginning. They're not in the movie even halfway through. Thor's with them, but then he splits with them when he sees Sif in trouble. So yeah, Sif is still alive, but Gore the God Butcher messed her up pretty good. She lost an arm, but yet she's still alive. And Thor meets Jane Foster, and she's Thor. And how all that went out was, while Thor's been gone, she's in stage 4 cancer, and nothing through science has been able to help her overcome this cancer. You know, chemo is like a double-edged sword. It eradicates everything, even the good bacteria in your system. So she says Mjolnir is calling her, Thor's old hammer, and she goes to New Asgard, and then the hammer that was in pieces, it's put back together, and she becomes like the new Thor, which is incredible because in the film there's like two Thors, and when Thor sees this, he's perplexed. He's like, how did the hammer choose her? And he's trying to make sure that Mjolnir is still, like, he can still carry Mjolnir, and because he's kind of jealous that Mjolnir is with someone else. But Stormbreaker, they're teasing that the weapon is upset because Thor is thinking about his old weapon, and Stormbreaker's yeah, they're saying like the weapons have feelings and they're jealous and stuff. Anyway, really enjoyed this film. The action was great. I really like the story plot. Gore captures the Asgardian children, takes them to his own shadow realm, so to speak, and Thor can't beat him with what he has, because Gore has the Necro Sword, which can kill any god. So we see him go over to this other place where all the gods are. He tries to call for help, but they don't listen. And Thor fights Zeus. Thor used to look up to Zeus, but he doesn't anymore, because he calls him a coward because he won't help him save the Asgardian children. Thor nearly kills Zeus, but Zeus is still alive, which I'll talk about later on in this video. But I enjoy this film because of like the story plot and the adventure part of it, and you can really sympathize with Gore, like why he hates gods, because he and his child and his people have been suffering, and then when he finally meets his god like just doesn't care at all. So you can really sympathize with what he said, with what he's doing, even though it's wrong. You understand Gore. That last fight scene with Valkyrie, Jane Foster, and with Thor, that was really good. They were fighting Gore the God Butcher and the Shadow Monsters, and even that's close to the last scene. The very last scene with the children and Thor fighting the Shadow Monsters. That was funny. That was a funny scene, but I liked all the battle sequences with Thor versus Gore. And it was really good. And liked the end credits. Zeus is the villain, and he's gonna sick his son Hercules against Thor. So we're getting more Thor movies, because at the end credits it said Thor will return. So there could be a Thor. There is obviously gonna be a Thor 5. But I really enjoyed this movie, like the premises behind it. Like, do you put your faith like in gods or anything? And like, if you do, why do they actually help you with your problems and stuff? If they don't, why do you worship them? I understand that premise of it. It's very interesting. But I liked all the action. I liked the chemistry between Jane Foster and Thor. I definitely missed that in Thor Ragnarok. I'm glad they brought Natalie Portman back. But definitely great film. I enjoyed it. So really good. Looking forward to the next one, especially with that last scene I always say the last scene, but this is kind of like when the movie's over and they play the credits. Thor is with the God Butcher's daughter, and now like they're fighting together, helping people. So I'm interested where they're gonna go with that character. So if you liked what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with all your friends. Also, if you saw Thor Love and Thunder, tell me what you thought about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And all of you, have a great day.